Before sunrise, Abby went to the pumpkin patch to get a pumpkin. At night, she was walking out. Abby heard a sound, but she thought it was the wind. Abby was still walking and it happened again. She was scared. It was a ghost. Abby ran to the car. Then it went somewhere. So it was not happy ever after. The end.
Once upon a time at midnight, there are two children. They are in a haunted house. There is blood on the walls. There are wooden axes on the walls. The story begins. Two children and a blood moon comes up. A vampire appears in the haunted house. There is a candle. If you light the candle, you will be haunted for your whole life. Crack, crack. What's that? Said Bob and Jeff. Let's go down Pumpkin Road. They say a blood moon. Look, said Bob, a haunted house. They go in there. Are dead bodies on the floor. Out the window to outside, there is a vampire with a child that is dead, cooking on the campfire. The vampire, he's coming, yelled Bob. The vampire smells children. The vampire captured Bob and Jeff, then left them hanging. That was the story of the two children.
Once upon a time, there were ghosts in the sunset, 3 a.m. in the dark woods. There were snapping in the trees. Crack, crack, crack. I saw a box. It was super scary.
Once upon a time, on Halloween night, Jack and Maddie were trick-or-treating. They came to the end of the street, and right in front of them was the dark woods. They heard stories about the dark woods, about monsters in the dark woods. In the dark woods, let's go, said Jack. They started walking. How? Maddie said, let's get out of here.
Mommy, wake up. Ding dong. What is that noise? I don't know. Data, just go back to sleep, says Molly. I roll over and glance at the clock. It's midnight. I'm scared. We both run to the window and notice vampires walking to the window. The vampires take us to the graveyard. Paisley and Allie are standing by the vampire. Oh no, they are vampires too. What in the world? We are scared. We run home as fast as we can.
In the deep dark woods, there's a noise coming from the darkness. Someone goes to see what it is. So he left his cabin at 12 p.m. Every step he took, the sound got louder and louder until he sees something. At 12:30 p.m., he does not know what it is. 1 a.m., he's running away to get away from the creature, but he fell in a tree root. 1:30, he could barely walk to get away. Then the creature pounced at the man and knocked him down to the ground. 1:30 a.m. In the cabin, they were worried about their friend by the fire in the cabin. 3 a.m. The man woke up and the man was stuck in a cage over hot boiling water. The creatures outside, there were creatures outside. They were all captured and never to be seen again, ever again.
Before sunrise, a vampire appears in the graveyard with his friend Zombie. But two people appeared named Stephen and Dave were digging up a grave, and they found a chest under the grave. They caught them and dissected their blood. Then we chased them out of the graveyard. Before we could chase them out of the graveyard, the sun rose and my friend went back into the grave, and I froze and fell to the ground.
There was a vampire in a spooky library. It was midnight and it was thundering. At 3 a.m., the vampire was gone, but we did not know where the vampire was. But the vampire knew where we were. On a full moon, he was back to get revenge on the people for murdering his family. So then he walks in the hallway, creak, creak, all the way down. He knocked it on the door. He said, "Anybody there? I hear you," but then he was gone again.
It was Halloween night. There's kids in a haunted house, blood on the walls. The haunted house was really scary. The witches only come out on Halloween night. It was Halloween night. The witches are ugly and mean witches. They were good at making potions. So they found these kids and brought them to the haunted house to turn them into witches because they want more witches in their town. Once upon a time, it was Halloween night. There was 3 children, and they thought it was about a witch. She was a scary witch. She thought one day she will come back again with her sisters. She loves to drink children's souls. They were running and they heard a sound of this. Chut, chut, chut. It was a deadly night for children.
One night you were running through the rain and hail to find shelter. Then you come across an abandoned house. So you push open the gate and go into the house. It is dark inside, so you light a candle, and you see a bunch of valuables. You wonder how old everything here is because everything looks antique. So you call out for help again, and there's no response. You go up the stairs and you call out for help again. Then something hits your head, and you go missing the next day, and you've never been seen again.
It was a full day at the pumpkin patch. Crack, crack, crack! What was that? I started to look around. I saw pumpkins starting to come off their vine. The pumpkins start to come near me. I run away. The pumpkins chase me. I gotta get out of here. I run into a zombie. Then I slice the zombie in half, and escaped the pumpkin patch.
On a Halloween night, a vampire was in a graveyard. A mummy popped out. He did not jump. The mummy said, "A mystery needs to be solved." "I'm not doing it," the vampire said. "Something bad is going to happen." "Okay, I'll do it." 1 hour later. "Is this what you want, Sassy? Is this what you want, Sassy?" "Yes, he's my dad." "Yes, he's my dad." "Your time was up, though. Now to be dead." "No, yummy blood." On Halloween night, I saw a ghost. Then he made me follow him into a abandoned school. The ghost scared me. Scared me. He said, "Boo." I jumped. Boo. I jumped again. I heard a crack 3 times. Crack, crack, crack. I didn't know who he was. So then I turned around. I saw a ghost behind me. I jumped again. The end.
One time was Halloween night and someone was locked in a small room with a vampire. 2 people were looking at the person that needed to be rescued from the blood. The 2 people saw blood leading to a small room that was locked. They unlocked the door and the vampire was sucking blood, and when they came in, the vampire disappeared. The person was dead, so the 2 people took him to the vampire. But the vampire was there, and the 2 people didn't see him. And the vampire ran up to them and started sucking their blood. The vampire ended up sucking all the trick-or-treaters' blood. It was a very deadly night.
Once upon a time, it was night, and that night the vampires moved in. And
And they went to the graveyard and they dug out a grave. And they kept the grave, then they went missing. So that night we went in the house and they had a fridge full of blood and the coffin, and we opened it and it had a dead body in it. And in the coffin. Then we found out that they are vampires, so we knew to go to the graveyard. And we got trapped in a grave. But my name is not Jeff. Then after time we died.
Once upon a time, there was a vampire on a full moon night. The vampire saw an abandoned school with blood on the walls. They went inside and there was no one. They left until he heard a strange sound and then went inside. Then he was shocked because there's no one, only blood.
It was Halloween morning. A mummy was in a lavatory. The mummy is trapped in the lavatory. Someone trapped him. We need to figure out, but how? Frankenstein walked in. He has a big tool. What is it? The mummy trapped Frankenstein in the closet. Then the mummy got trapped again. Who was it? Was the game master. He found a big tool. The story is scary, the end. Once upon a time, it was Halloween night. A zombie was haunting the graveyard. The zombie keeps popping up everywhere. Someone was stuck in a hole, and the zombie is trying to find whoever is stuck in the hole. A zombie creeps up behind someone. The zombie drips something on someone. On a Halloween night, there was a kid who went in a house with Jimmy, Sam, Jack, Joe, twins with Jimmy. They went into a house to save one of their friends. They went in, but the door opened by itself. Flames burst through the floor, and a monster flew the flames. They ran out the door. The monster chased them. And when the kids got home, the monster burst through the floor, and the kids screamed. And back to the house and found the person they were supposed to save. Finally, a pumpkin hit Sam in the head. Jamie, was that you? No, it was a monster. He got them and ate them all. The end by Lindsay.